I should have made some notes. Oh well. Hi guys, I'm Lucy and today I'm going to do something that I haven't done before. Or at least not on my own, and that is a book review. I am going to review The Farm by Emily McKay for you guys. If you have picked this up, there is one thing you should know about this book. Don't read the back of it, because there is kind of a spoiler on the back of the book. And that might ruin the experience for you guys. So don't read the back. Please don't. If you want to know a synopsis of this book, you can go on Goodreads. I will leave the link in the description below, because that description is just kind of okay-ish. And it doesn't spoil anything for you guys. The book. I really should have made some notes. I'm already blah. The Farm by Emily McKay is the first in a trilogy, so there are 2 more books out. The Farm is the first book in the trilogy, The Lair is the second book in the trilogy, and The Vault is the third book in the trilogy. There is also a prequel which is called The Before, which I really should read, because I love everything about the series and I love it. It's not really a well-known book. It only has around 3,000 ratings on Goodreads and only 600 reviews on Goodreads. Nonetheless, it's one of my favorite books. And I thought, why not give a review for you guys? This will be a non-spoiler review, because I don't like to spoil things. And I mean, what's the point? If you have read this book and you want to talk about it, you can find me on Kik or on Twitter, so we can just talk about it there, I guess. Before I'm going to go into the review, it might be helpful for you guys if you know what the book is about. So let me just tell you what's it about without spoiling it. The Farm by Emily McKay follows 2 main characters, Lily and Mel, and they live on a farm, which I will not say what it is because you can find out when you read the book. But essentially the book is set in a dystopian setting where there is an apocalypse of ticks going on, and the description of a tick is really something difficult for me, because on one hand people say they're vampires, but I really think they're more like zombies, and they're kind of a mix of those two, and they're just lethal and terrible, and they will eat you alive if you are not careful. So it's set in a world where the apocalypse is still going on, and not the aftermath of the apocalypse or the breakout of the apocalypse, but right in the middle of it. And that's really something that I think stands out. So the 2 sisters, Lily and Mel, are twin sisters. You can keep them apart except for one character trait, and that is that Mel has autism. And because she has autism, she can't really communicate. She has one of the most severe forms of autism in the book, and she can't communicate well. She doesn't speak at all, and when she speaks in rhyme, and that's really amazing in my opinion. And she sees things that others might don't see, if I'm making any sense. I don't want to spoil this for you, but it is known from the beginning of the book that Mel is kind of dysfunctional, if you can say it like that. But the story is really about Mel and Lily finding a way out of the farm, because when you turn 18, you kind of age out of the program, and that's when things go bad. They don't know what's going to happen when you turn 18. The only thing they know is that you disappear from the farms, and it is not clear if you are killed off or if you are sent out in the world outside the farm where the ticks roam the earth and everything, and where you can die very painfully. It's not something I want to do. But the thing about the farms is that they are quarantined schools, essentially, where they put all teenagers together in the farm, and they are treated as livestock. They are kept in the farm surrounded by a electric fence, and they say it's to keep the ticks away from them, but it's also in the same matter as keeping the kids locked up inside and away from the outside world. The thing about the farms that you should know is that the farms really aren't good, in my opinion at least. And for some reason, unknown to man on earth, I don't know, is that the ticks really like teenage blood. Ticks are what I just said. They're like a vampire zombie mix of something like that. I really believe they're mutants. They are mutants, but that is explained in the book why and how and whatever. I'm not going to say anything more about that. But the main thing is they eat of blood. They kill people. Especially teenagers. They just love the smell and taste of blood, I guess, of teenagers. So you have these farms where all teenagers are kept in. And they're a little bit treated like livestock, where they donate their blood to feed the ticks and to essentially keep the ticks away from them. It's a messed up system, that's for sure. And the other thing you need to know about the ticks is that when you get infected by a tick, meaning you get bitten by a tick and survive, or your blood is mixed with the blood of a tick, there are two options. One, you die, horrible, because they rip out your heart when you're still screaming and alive, so that's horrible. Or two, you come back as a tick. The second option, it's not really an option, you can't really decide, but the second point of this story is that it's only about 1% of the population of Earth can become a tick. But becoming a tick is something you can't really choose. It's set in your genes. It's decided for you, and you don't know if you can become a tick or if not, up until the point that you're bitten by one or you have their blood in you, which really sounds weird, but you know what I mean, and you start to turn. And that's when it really gets bad, because there isn't a cure. So, yeah. And for Mel and Lily, this is something they have to keep in mind, because they are twin sisters. They are identical twins. So when one of them gets infected somehow and turns into a tick, the other one knows immediately that when they are infected by a tick, they turn into a tick. That's something they really need to focus on and keep in mind. But they just like, no, I'm not going to think about that because that's horrible. That's just a horrible death. But the story really takes off when they want to escape the farm, because when you turn 18, you age out of the program within the farm, and there is no knowing of where you will end up. It might be you can kill off, or it might be that you're just sent out of the farms, and that's not really something awesome if you don't know what to do, really. It's die or die. But since Lily and Mel are turning 18 within a week from starting the book, they really need to get out of the farm, because Mel, she can't take care of herself and Lily has to take care of her because of the autism. And Lily thinks it is best for them to just escape and try and survive, essentially. But the escaping from the farm is kind of hard, and they don't know how, and then suddenly a boy named Carter jumps into the game, and he is a high school friend of Lily, which messes everything up because she doesn't know who to trust. And she is just, should I trust him or not? I haven't seen him since the before, and should I trust him? Can he get us off the farm alive? And that's when the story really takes off. If you want to know more about the book, go read the book. I mean, it's up to you. Another thing you really should know about the book is that it's told from different perspectives. There are 3 main characters in the book: Carter, Lily and Mel, and they each have their own chapters. At the top of the chapter it says who's talking right now. And that's, say for example, the chapter starts with Lily, you know that's a chapter from Lily's point of view, and so on and so on and so on. But what I really love about this different point of view thing in the book is that they all have really distinct voices, at least to me. As I said before, Mel has autism, one of the most severe forms of autism, and she can't really communicate. She also has chapters in the book, and they are my favorite chapters of them all. Like, seriously, if you've read the book and you've read Mel's chapters, you know what I'm talking about. She thinks in rhyme, she thinks in music, especially in music, and her chapters are like maybe 1 or 2 pages long, but they are really her thoughts put out there on the paper, and it's It's amazing, and you really get to know them, and yeah. There are also chapters from Carter's point of view and chapters from Lily's point of view, and you just know who the main character is from reading the book and seeing from who the chapters are more prominent. There's also one other thing you need to know about this series. There are a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of references throughout the story to other books and other series. But if you don't like references, then this might be annoying for you. I really love the references in the book. I really don't know what to say more about this book, because I have the feeling that if I say anything more about this book, I will spoil it for you. So I'm not going to, so let me just summarize what I just said. And I have no idea if it came across like I wanted to, but I will just summarize for you in short words what the book is about. The Farm by Emily McKay. If you want to read this book, you own the book, don't read the back because there is a spoiler on it. Go read the synopsis on Goodreads. It's about two girls trying to escape a farm, which is essentially a prison, a death camp. They want to escape the farm because Lily wants to take care of Mel, and they are about to age out of the program, and she doesn't know what's going to happen to them. They either die or die. So the only really option they have is escape, but she doesn't know how, and she has to take Mel with her because she can't survive on her own, because she has a severe form of autism, and I love it. It's a dystopian setting during an apocalypse where vampire, zombie, mutant thingies roam the earth and kill everything that lives. You turn into a tick, you're screwed. You're eaten by a tick, you're screwed. So it's a really bad world to live in. Go read it. That's all I have to say. I adore this book. The Farm by Emily McKay. I love it. I really do love it. But yeah, that was my review. If you like this non-spoiler review of The Farm by Emily McKay, please leave me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below telling me if I make you intrigued to read this book. I hope I did well. It's my first review and I should have written things down, but I didn't, sorry. But yeah, that's really it for me today. I will see you very, very soon, and until then, have a nice life. I don't know. I will see you guys very, very soon. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Love you guys. Bye! But nonetheless, it... No. Seriously, my books fly!